Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Hugh Boy with HBI Home Solution, and in this video, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the closing costs that associate with the sale when you sell your house in Augusta, Georgia. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So I will often say that closing costs is one of the most overlooked aspect when you sell your house. People can think that they don't have to pay any closing costs at all, and let's say if they buy the house for $100,000 and they sell the house for 200, then they just pocket the $100,000 different. But that's not the case at all. Not with closing costs involved, because closing costs can be quite pricey. So with that in mind, the first closing cost that I need to talk to you guys about is the real estate commission. At least for the Augusta area, the typical commission for real estate agent is gonna be 6% of the sale price. So let's say that if you sell your house for $200,000, that's gonna be $12,000 in terms of commission that you have to pay to the agent, right? 6% of 200 is 12. So that's straightforward, and quite honestly, that's a lot of money to be paid, right? Because 12 grand is almost a W-2 salary for a few months. So I'm not sure about you, but when I hear that number, it's always boggle my mind, right? So why does real estate agent cost so much? The reason has to do with they are the one who prepare the listing. They have to market the properties. They have to show properties to different buyers and then negotiate and prepare all the documents. And the one of the more important thing is they hold the hands of the buyer and seller and make sure they don't get cold feet, make sure that they follow through with the plan and not getting too jumpy and quit in the middle of the transaction. Because quite frankly, right, real estate transaction is big dollars, right? It's probably going to be one of the most expensive thing that you're going to buy or sell during your entire life. So it's kind of makes sense that people always have second thoughts somewhere in the process, and real estate agents kind of just be there to make sure they're calm, make sure they follow through with the plan, um, so on and so forth. So that's why agent can cost an arm and a leg in today's market. So that 6% commission is split up between the buyer agent and the seller agent. So the buyer agents take 3% and the seller agent take 2%, and combined it's cost 6%, because you need both buyer agent and seller agent to be able to sell a house on market. Now, on the other hand, if you sell it directly to us, we're HBI Home Solutions. So we buy houses as is, and we're direct buyers. So we don't need any real estate agent to walk us through the process. We have done this for dozen and dozen of times already, so we know the process. We know the attorneys. We have everything in place to be able to get things done. And because of that, we don't use real estate agent. It doesn't cost you 6%. It save us money, save you money. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Now, the second closing cost that I want to cover in this video is gonna be escrow fees. So this includes like your title search, your settlement fees, your title insurance, some local fees and tax transfer, and last but not least, at least in Augusta, you have to pay an attorney the fee to be able to close on the house, because we are not a title agency state. We're a closing attorney state, so every sales of a house require a closing attorney to do the work. So that's that. So all of that fees combined typically will fall in the range of, I would say, 2% of the sales price. So let's say again, if you sell a median home in Augusta, which $200,000, right? That's gonna cost you 4 grand in escrow fees, and but you don't have to pay for that, right? If you sell it the traditional way to a regular buyers, of course you gotta pay for some of that. But when you sell it to us, we will cover this cost We have a really good relationships with our attorneys. They know our process, so it typically be more efficient and also cheaper for us to handle that fee because we just have the volume that the attorneys usually give us a really good discount to begin with, and we know the process, so we're not gonna be a giant pain in the rear for them to work with. So all in all, like, we save money by doing things our way, and ultimately we pass on that saving to you. So instead of wondering how much the closing cost is and wondering how much you're gonna have to pay in the end. Most people don't find out about closing costs until the closing date. So instead of worrying about all of that, all I'm saying is we'll pay for it. So this way, it doesn't cost you any more money, and you know exactly how much you're gonna make from the sale. In day one. So that's also important. The third thing that you need to pay attention to is gonna be repair costs, because when you sell to a regular buyers, they might nitpick a lot of things that you have to fix on your house, especially after the inspection report. They're gonna come back with like a laundry list of things that you have to fix. Some things as simple as like a pen chip on the wall, a couple of holes, maybe your HVAC needs to be serviced, and maybe a roof needs to be redone. Like, all of that can cost like thousands of dollars, right? And you just never know what the buyer is gonna ask. So that can be also costly. But if you sell it to HBI Home Solutions, we do not ask you to do any repairs whatsoever. The reason is we specialize in buying properties that need some work. That's our core value. That's what we do. That's what we enjoy doing. And we have a full-time construction crew that can handle pretty much any repairs that you throw at us. So in this way, again, it's going to be more efficient for us to fix things than for you to do it. It might cost you, $4,000 to paint your entire house, but if we paint it, because of the volume we give our contractor, it might only cost us $2,000 to paint the whole house. So it's almost make more sense for you to not fix up a house and sell it as is to us. Not only do you save money, and you also save the time and hassle of going through the entire process and dealing with different contractors, right? Instead of worrying about all of that, just sell your house as is to us, and do not worry about any repairs whatsoever. Let's see, the final thing for closing cost is going to be staging and marketing, right? Even though you pay your agent 6% commission, that does not include staging and marketing. So some agent will ask you to buy some, not buy, but to rent some furniture to make the place look more homey for the end buyer, and they might hire professional photographers to go in and take like a dozen of pictures with your house with the correct lightings, and also getting all the drones up there taking like a really broad top view of the entire place. It's fancy stuff, but it's not cheap, right? The whole thing can cost about $1,000 to $2,000 depending on the size of your house, because you need to they want to impress the home buyer by putting like a lot of bell and whistle on your place, kind of just putting a lot of like shiny object on your house. But that's cost money, and when you sell it to us, like, we don't care about any of that, right? We want to remodel the house anyway, so we don't care if it's have furniture in there or not. We don't live in the house at all, so we don't need to feel homey when we walk into the house. All we care about is, does the house have potential or not, and can we make it better by doing our own work? So in the sense, like, when you sell it to us, you don't have to pay for any staging at all, and you don't have to pay any marketing fees, because we're the end buyer. You don't need to market anywhere else if you sell it to us already. So if that makes sense. That's really it. That's really the four main closing costs that you really need to pay attention to, and that's it. But if you do want to learn more about our company and what we do here at HBI Home Solutions, like I said, we buy houses as is, pay all the closing costs, and you can sell your house really fast in Augusta, Georgia. There's no hidden fees, there's no cost involved. With the process, the price that you get from the sale will be net to you minus any mortgage you might have. So it's really transparent pricing, and you know exactly how much you're gonna make from the very start. Comparing to selling it to the regular home buyers, you do not know. You really do not know how much you're gonna make until the closing date happens. So if that sounds like you, if that sounds like something that you are interested in, feel free to submit a form in our website about selling your house, and we'll be sure to reach out to you as soon as possible. Our response time is typically within a few minutes to top, like 1 or 2 hours. So reach out to us, we'll respond right away. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.